Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, Amir Khan says he wants big fights. He wants only big fights. I think we know that Amir Khan's coming towards the end of his career. He's even mentioned now he wants to go out and start in style. What do you think's next for Amir Khan? What do you think he's going to do? Who's he going to fight? Personally, I think the fight out there for him is the Brook fight. But I think he's holding out for the Manny Pacquiao fight. I think there's a chance he may get that as well. I don't think it's out the question. But I think really, if you look at it, I do think the Brook fight is probably the only realistic fight out there. You'd say if he gets the Manny Pacquiao fight, he's very lucky. But, you know, there is a possibility he may get the Manny Pacquiao fight. I think that's the fight he obviously wants. I can't see... For some reason, I think Brook may be a last resort for him. I think if he feels that, you know, Manny Pacquiao's not coming to the table, then he'll fight Brook. If I'm honest with you, I'm not sure the Brook fight will happen. Although the British fans want to see it, I think they want to see him in a fight Brook, and probably see maybe the loser then bow out. A lot of you think that Amir Khan's afraid to lose to Brook. I don't think, obviously, with the kind of tension that they've had through the years, he wouldn't want to lose to Brook. But I don't think it's a nigh uncertainty. I think a lot of people think that because Khan's passed it and they think that Brook would beat him. I disagree. I think Brook's finished as well. And I actually look at Brook fighting Zerafa. He looked terrible, you know. So there's nothing to say that Amir Khan won't beat Brook. You know, because I do think both of them are vulnerable. And also, I don't think Brook's that big a puncher that people make him out to be. He's not. And a lot of you people think that, well, Brook in his prime, I saw some of you say that Brook in his prime could beat Amir Khan. Amir Khan would have beaten Brook in his prime. Brook's not special. To go off the fact that he beat Sean Porter in a close fight decision, believe me, Amir Khan beat some good fighters. To say, oh, he beat BC level fighters. Zab Judah's a 5-time world champion. Amir Khan destroyed him. You know, so I don't want to hear that. Sean Porter's not achieved what Zab Judah achieved in his career. Zab Judah gave Mayweather a fight which people thought was disputed in a close fight. You know, so let's not get things twisted. A lot of people don't know much about boxing. They just think, oh, Sean Porter's great because you've seen him. You haven't seen Zab Judah because he was before your time. Zab Judah was a way more talented fighter than Sean Porter. If you listen to what Terence Crawford said, he goes, Amir Khan's best win probably came against Zab Judah, who was an exceptional. He also said that Zab Judah was probably past his prime, but I don't think he was, because years later, Zab Judah gave Danny Garcia a very tough night where it went 12 rounds. So again, I don't think we should get things twisted. Amir Khan knocked him out in 6 rounds. No one really did that to Zab Judah, if I'm honest. The way Khan beat the brakes off of him and knocked him out, I think that was his most impressive performance, because he made another slick fighter look terrible. Right, and like I said, 3 years later, Zab Judah fought Danny Garcia in a very close neck-and-neck fight. So, at the end of the day, I think people's knowledge of boxing is fairly limited, and they come out with these rubbish things that Amir Khan's not really beaten any A-level fighters and this, that, and Brook beat Sean Porter, who's meant to be this A-level fighter. Right, Sean Porter lost to Keith Thurman. Sean Porter, you know, had a very close fight with Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter lost to Errol Spence. So, what's your A-level fighter? Like I just said, Zab Judah's a 5-time world champion. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. Sean Porter's not that. So at the end of the day, you know, we can go back and forth. The fact is that Amir Khan's beaten a fair share. And even if you say that he's not beaten an A-level fighter, look how many good fighters he's beaten. How many good fighters has Brook beaten? Just one. Because I would put Sean Porter in the same category as Zab Judah and all of them. Actually, I don't think he's achieved as much as Zab Judah. But I think you can say he's in the same category. But how many fighters has Amir Khan beaten? Brook's not beaten anyone. He's beaten one guy. If you're going to... And sometimes people get fluky wins. Sometimes people can get lucky. Man United can lose to, you know, Dagenham and Redbridge. That don't mean Dagenham and Redbridge are better. You know? Sometimes you can get a win. You can't go off, oh yeah, he beat an A-level guy, that's why I'm going to say he's better. No, Amir Khan's beaten more better fighters throughout his career. So for me, he's the better fighter because he's proven it over a longer period and against better quality of opponents. Brook's not proven anything against anyone, just one fight. Stop judging it on one fight. Anyone can have a good night. Darren Barker beat Daniel Gill for a world title. You know, it can happen. It can happen. You know, there was probably other middleweights that were better than Darren Barker that probably deserved to win. Like Matthew Macklin, guys like that didn't win. It can happen. Someone can have a good night on a specific day. But personally, I think Amir Khan beats a prime Kell Brook, in my opinion, and I'll always stick by that. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Let's talk. Let me get this microphone on. Oh, I can't be asked putting it on. Just speak into it. Guys, I've seen a lot of your comments on the Khan Brook video that I've done, and I've come to a conclusion where there's no point of even arguing with a lot of you about the Khan Brook situation, because I have my opinion, you have your opinions, and we're not going to change. But the disturbing thing for me is, if Khan was to fight Kell Brook and lose, I'd be upset. I'd be upset with every fight that Khan loses, because I support him. You could call me a fan of Amir Khan. The difference is, I feel like a lot of you guys have a hatred towards Amir Khan, and it's not a case where you think he'd lose. You want to see him lose. There's the difference. And that's the difference between me and you. A lot of you say, oh, you support Khan. The difference is that if Khan was to lose, I'd hold my hand up and I wouldn't make any excuses. The difference is with you guys is that I feel like you try to justify that he's not a top fighter. You try to justify that he's not, that his wins aren't credible, that he's not a great fighter, he's not really achievement. Like, you try to downplay everything he's achieved, really. And I understand, because Mayweather's achievements have been downplayed, and if Mayweather's gonna get downplayed, Khan's nothing compared to what Mayweather's achieved in the sport. But I don't think there's any question that Khan's achieved way more than Kell Brook. But it's a case where this argument that I have, it's no point, because you guys want to see Khan lose. A lot of you that comment, I don't feel like you like him, and I feel like you want to see him lose rather than you actually think he's going to lose. You may think he's going to lose, but I think you want to see him lose because you don't really like him, if I'm honest. That's the kind of vibes I get from some of you. And it's not a healthy kind of vibe. It's like, why would you want to see a man lose? Like, fair enough if he goes in there and gets beat. Fair enough. But a lot of you, some of the things that you say about, Kell Brook, timing beats speed, and just some of the things like that. And firstly, you're comparing Kell Brook to Canelo, which is chalk and cheese. It's like Kell Brook's not even good enough to tie Canelo's shoelaces. Like, you can't even compare. And then you talk about the Danny Garcia fight. You say it's a 12-round fight, etc. Fair enough. Amir Khan was boxing Danny Garcia's ears off until then. And the thing was, Amir Khan fought the wrong fight in that fight. He went in there looking to trade with him, going toe-to-toe. And anyone that knows that Khan doesn't normally fight like that, he was upset because of what his dad said about the religion and stuff. And that played into Khan's head. And Amir Khan's, at that point, didn't really respect Garcia. Nobody really knew who he was. So he didn't follow a game plan. With Canelo, it was just the fact that I never thought he would beat Canelo. I thought Canelo would have beaten him at any point because Canelo's too good. Anyone that's followed my channel knows how much of a fan of Canelo. He would have never beaten Canelo. He would have beaten Garcia, however, because Garcia is so slow, flat-footed. I believe he would have boxed. If he had gone in with a game plan and been smart, he would have beaten Danny Garcia. With Canelo, it doesn't matter what he would have done. Canelo somewhere down the line would have got him. Kell Brook is neither of those guys, in my opinion. Kell Brook doesn't punch as hard as Canelo. Kell Brook's power is a myth. As you saw, the three guys that he's fought, he's a top level. He never tittled them. He never tittled them. They were not once hurt by him at any point in the fights that they had. They weren't tittled. Did they ever go down? Did they ever stutter? Did they ever look hurt? Never. And I'm not saying Khan has a chin of any of those three, because he doesn't. The thing is that Khan's been hurt and got back up and won fights. You have to understand, he's been there. He's been hurt. He knows what it's like to get up and get... He's got experience. And Kell Brook doesn't punch as hard as what you guys are making him out to be. Actually, Madonna punches harder than Kell Brook. I'm pretty certain of that. And if you don't... And like I said, that's my opinion. Madonna's shown me power. Ask Mayweather. Mayweather said that this guy's got serious power. He can punch. right? Serious power. Madonna can punch. And he's a bulldog as well. He's not like Kell Brook. He's a bulldog. He's going to be on you all night long. And let's not forget, Kell Brook, his resistance, he got hurt. He gets hurt quick himself. His eye sockets break. So it's not like Kell Brook's made out of steel, you know. So I just feel like a lot of you want to see Khan lose, which is disappointing because I don't know why you would have... I think there's a lot of hatred towards him for no reason. But that's just my take on it. This is getting boring. Hopefully the fight happens and we can see. I don't think it's neither guy's at their prime, but you know, hopefully it happens. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, what's going on? A lot of you have rightfully said that Manny Pacquiao wants to become undisputed welterweight champion. And yeah, I agree. He does want to become undisputed welterweight champion. Something he's never achieved in his career. He's never been an undisputed champion, probably because he keeps moving up so many weights. He never stuck at a weight, and he didn't get the time to become an undisputed champion. But it's something that he would love to probably finish his career on. That would be a great achievement, you know, added to his list, which, to be honest, is something that everybody would want to be. Everybody would want to hold the belts. Now, he's got a great opportunity because if Spence and Crawford get it on, right, it's 100% that they're going to want to fight Manny Pacquiao, right? The winner of that fight is going to want to fight Manny Pacquiao because it's going to be for the undisputed title. I think that fight would make a lot of sense then. And I've said this months back. I said that Manny Pacquiao should let Crawford and Spence fight it out and then fight the winner. I don't think he should go into a fight right away with them because I think I just think that, you know, he's giving himself more work. If he wants to become undisputed champion, why not? Manny Pacquiao doesn't need those guys. They want him. Let them two fight it out and then fight the winner. That's what I would do if I was him. Because he's not achieved that in his career. And the thing is, Spence and Crawford are hard fights for Manny Pacquiao. They're not easy fights. So if he goes into a fight and fight Crawford and then looking to beat Crawford, then beat Spence, that's hard. You know, let them two fight out and him fight the winner. That would make it a lot easier for Pacquiao because you'd only have to beat one of them to become undisputed champion. And let's not forget, both guys are chasing him. You know, he's not chasing them, so he can wait till them guys lock horn and then fight the winner. But it just depends because Crawford and Spence, we don't know when that fight's going to be made. Some people think it's going to be made in 2020. I'm not sure because it doesn't look like that easy a fight to be made. We know how it's been difficult of late. But like I said, Fury Wilder's being made, so hopefully it can be made. But Pacquiao's not got long left. He can't afford for, this to be dragged out much longer. He needs the fight to happen in 2020. So then, because Pacquiao doesn't want it to go on to 2022, he's too old. I said that I think Pacquiao's probably going to fight till 2021. He may go on longer, depending on how he feels, depending on how he performs. He may go on longer. This year could be his last year. His next fight could be his last fight. Manny Pacquiao's at the stage of his career where he's on a fight-by-fight basis because he's old now. He's not a young guy that can come back from a defeat and come back from a vicious knockout or something like that. He needs to win and he needs to look good. Otherwise, his career every time, when you're at this age, your career every time's on the line because you're old, So I think Manny Pacquiao should let Spence and Crawford fight it out and fight the winner for the undisputed. It gives him an opportunity, and there's nothing to say he's going to win. He has a chance of winning, of course. I believe he's a 50-50 chance of winning it then. But if he goes and fights Crawford and then looks to fight, to me that's not what he should do because it becomes harder for him. He needs to let them two fight it out and then fight the winner for the undisputed. That would be a perfect way for Manny to go out. Win or lose, a perfect way for him to go out. He's giving himself a chance of achieving something he's never done in the sport. And what an icing on the cake it would be at the age of 41 for him to become an undisputed champion. So that's what I think he should do. But he may just jump into a fight with one of them. If he can't get an opponent, he may jump in with one of them right away, which I don't think would be the right thing to do. I think he should let them two fight it out and then fight the winner, because that makes sense. He's giving himself an opportunity to become an undisputed welterweight champion. And you rather fight one killer than fight two killers. Do you understand? You don't want to fight two good fighters. You rather fight one, because what he wants to achieve is exactly the same, but he's having to go through two obstacles rather than one. So I rather go through one obstacle than go through two. You know, two tough fights, especially at his age. It's not like he's a young man that's gonna back-to-back training, or not even back-to-back, but training camps. He's getting older, and it's just nah. One, in my opinion, let them two fight it out, and then you fight the winner for the undisputed. So that's how I think he should go about it. What he does, only time will tell. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, let's talk about Keith Thurman. So there's a lot of talk about Keith Thurman. You know, Errol Spence said he's not a top welterweight. For me, Keith Thurman's still a top welterweight. He's still top 5. And I feel he's still got a career. He's still got a career if he puts his head down, focuses. I still think he can come back. I don't think it's a career where a lot of people question it. I was questioning it, but I do feel that if he has the hunger, has the desire, which a lot of people are questioning right now, I do believe he can come back. Whether he can become world champion, it's another story altogether, but he can definitely come back and do something in the welterweight division. It's just that he needs to, in my opinion, he needs to come back. They're talking about a fight, you know, with a top level fight. I'm not sure. I think he needs to probably ease back into it, and then towards the end of the year have a top fight, because Keith Thurman's at the stage of his career where he can't mess around too long. You know, he wants big money fights. He wants big meaningful fights to keep himself motivated, because, you know, at the age he is, he can't be fighting, you know, lower level competition. It's not going to motivate him, especially with the amount of money he made fighting Pacquiao. He's going to want to get his teeth into a big fight just to keep himself motivated. So I do think that Keith Thurman, if he can have a tune-up fight, and then towards the end of the year have another tough fight or have a big fight, I think that's what Thurman should do. I think he should ease himself back in it. I do think he's still a top 5 welterweight. Some people are questioning that position and saying that he's no longer a top 5. I don't think I could put Danny Garcia ahead of him. I think the top 5 for me are Spence, Crawford, Pacquiao, Porter, and Thurman. Even though Thurman beat Porter, but it was a while back, and since then a lot has changed. You know, Thurman's had injuries, been off, then he got beat by he didn't look great against Lopez, and then he got beat by Pacquiao. So a lot's happened in that time. It's not like, you know, it's the Thurman that beat Danny Garcia. It's not. It's or the Thurman that beat Porter. It's a completely different Thurman now, you know. This Thurman looks a lot more vulnerable than the Thurman that beat those guys. So, you know, would Thurman beat Sean Porter right now? I think it's a very tough fight. A very, very tough fight. The first time was a tough fight. I actually thought that Thurman beat... I actually thought that Thurman that fought Sean Porter could probably beat Spence. I don't believe this Thurman can. That Thurman would have given Spence a lot of trouble. This Thurman, I think he's too vulnerable to beat Spence. This new Thurman is too vulnerable, the way I look at it. He's still a top welterweight, and he can still mix and match it, but I just don't think this Thurman has what it takes to beat the top welterweights. I believe he's amongst them, and he can mix it with them, but I wouldn't favor him. I wouldn't favor him against Porter. I wouldn't favor him against Pacquiao. I wouldn't favor him, or he lost to Pacquiao already. I wouldn't favor him against Crawford, and I wouldn't favor him against Spence either. I wouldn't favor him. He'd be a live underdog, but that's what he would be, a live underdog. He wouldn't be a favorite in my eyes. I think a lot of you guys would agree with that as well, because I just think that those guys have got the bit between their teeth and they're hungry. Sean Porter's like an animal. Like, he keeps coming and coming and coming. And I think right now, what I saw against Pacquiao, that would be horrible for Thurman to go through that. Horrible. Plus, I don't think Thurman has the power that he had before as well. Before, Thurman hurt Porter in that fight. I don't know whether he has that same kind of snap in his punches he did back then. But like I said, I want to see these guys fight. And also, I don't know whether the top guys are that interested in you know, Thurman anymore. I think Errol Spence v Thurman could be a massive fight. I do think it could be a huge fight. I actually think the pay-per-view, although Spence and Crawford is the fight everyone wants to see, I think if it's built right and Thurman can come back strong, I do think that pay-per-view wise could do quite decent numbers, because I think they're both characters, and I think when Thurman gets into it, I think they could sell that quite well. I think it's a massive fight. But yeah, for me, Keith Thurman's still a top welterweight. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.